This is Chad Classic. Welcome back to Fading Places. This is the second episode in our series where we're exploring the barbering community in the Pacific Northwest. Today we have the privilege of sitting down with Herb Warren, also known as Hands on Herb, and Ja'Son Lee, also known as Jay Cutta, two of Tacoma's finest barbers. In this episode, they'll be sharing some of their experiences as professional barbers and entrepreneurs.
Funny thing is, my first pair of clippers, I got those at BJ's. That was my first pair of clippers, and that
BJ's.
was
And BJ's Beauty
BJ's
and
Beauty and Barber College. It's Tacoma, Washington, 54th Street. I want to say something like that.
So your first pair of clippers were in your barber kit or in your Cosmo
kit, and they were wall. I want to say wall designers. Wall designers. Yeah. I mean, it's dope if you know how to use them. If you don't know how to use them, then it's gonna be trash like if you're using a Conair.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty dope for my first ones. But my first blow dryer, I believe, was a Conair. No, I was playing. What's
I didn't even know Conair made blow dryers, so we'll take it.
Yeah. Shoot, the funny thing is, I don't know the name brand of them. I just used them.
Nice.
I know it looks like got the black handle and it's purple, then they got like the little silver joint, then had the black tip. I don't know the name of it. Don't judge me for that. But it was just pretty dope though.
The first ones, well, we like to call them the Walmart specials.
The Walmart specials?
Yeah, the Walmart specials, man. Those is the ride or die clippers, they was falling apart. I was putting them back together, getting through haircuts and stuff, but they did with the job. I didn't really know how to fade then. I just was making it do, get all even with the lineup. And,
now, was it you that bought those clippers, or was it mom, or was it pops?
Okay, my first set of clippers, yes, I bought those from Walmart, the Walmart specials,
Now, what inspired you to buy those?
My mom originally, she's a hairstylist. She's been doing hair as long as I've been living, matter of fact. But yeah, she had her own shop and stuff, and I would always come in and line my own self up because, if I couldn't get to the barbershop, I'd have to get myself right. Middle school, high school, you don't want to be the guy with no lineup, you know what I'm saying? You get banged on real hard for that.
Unless you can fight like me. Go ahead.
Either way it goes, But yeah, I had my first set of Andis T-liners, outliners, and I would line myself up with those. And yeah, if my haircut wasn't right, I'd go back home and grab them Walmart specials and get it right and stuff. And I didn't really cut anybody else's hair then, but not until like high school. My friends, they'll see me and they'll be like, if you can do that to yourself, why don't you just line me up? And at first I didn't really want to because I didn't want to mess nobody up, but that's what it takes to learn, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Once I had my son, once he turned like two and a half, then I start cutting his hair, lining him up, doing designs on him and stuff like that, burning everybody's lineups, they'd have little, extra cuts and stuff, but,
That's how we all start.
Yeah.
You start off pushing lines back and leaving scabs.
Oh yeah, scabs is, even me. I had to come to school, had almost bald, with the super shadow TI fade, because I didn't push my line back too far and I had to cut all my hair off, But shoot, once you get that, once you learn what not to do, that's when you can really master yourself.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of learning. You have to mess up. You got to make mistakes.
Well, that leads me to my first shop that I worked at, Franchise Brothers. There was a gentleman by the name of Showcase the Barber. I knew him from Tacoma, and I knew he was a barber. Up until that point, I've never cut nobody's hair. I never even thought about it. I didn't know I even had an artistic bone in my body. And so I was just a working man. I always just worked odd jobs here and there. And Showcase was my barber. And I used to go in there and I used to always complain, like, how I can't stand my job, they do this, they do that. And long story short, he says, why don't you become a barber? And I was like, I never thought about becoming a barber day in my life. And he's like, that's why you gotta go to school, they're gonna teach you. And he pointed to an empty chair that he had in his shop. And he says, I'll tell you what, if you go to school, that's your chair. And he was a man of his words. I went to school, not only to become a barber, but also because I'm a cosmetologist. I got my license, and I started work like the very next day at a franchise.
So your barber persuaded you or convinced you to go to barber school.
Right.
How did you get into cosmetology?
So I walked in there, spoke with Miss BJ, and I says, I'm here for the barber program. Because I'm just going to, I'm going off of what his words were. Barber program. And I was like, so I walked in there, no small talk. I'm here for the barber program. She's like, I'm thinking about dismantling the barber program, but we do have cosmetologists. I was like, yeah, all right, thank you. And I got her to get out the chair and walk out. She's like, no, wait, I don't think you understand. We do barbering in the cosmetology program as well. And I says, I'll be able to cut hair. Like, this is how new I am. She's like, yeah. I said, I'll be able to go work at my friend's shop and cut hair. She goes, yeah, who's your friend? I told her. She says, oh yeah, he went here too. I was like, cool. So we got one big alumni, But with that, she had me. She said it'll be a little bit longer, but you'll be able to do everything, not just barbering. I says, well, cool. I just want to go cut at my friend's shop. And then that's how that went.
Okay, so I'm working this job. I've been working for about six, maybe 5 years at the time. And my barber, which is my co-worker I work with at the shop, Nick, DJ K Rush, he was my barber. And like I said before, I would cut my own hair. So I can't see the back, so I go to him to finish it up, And I worked at Foot Locker and the Lux company. So at the time, I ain't had no time to do my hair really. So I get off work, and he worked in the mall at the barbershop. So I get off work, and he's one of the guys that come in and work all day, be the last one in the shop. So I knew I could depend on him, So I just come by like at lunch or something. I get a little break and be like, hey, can you get me later? And he'd be like, cool. So I'll come in there, get cut up, and he'll always be like, what you want me to do? And I'd be like, fix me up, finish it up. And he'd be like, you did everything, So I'll be like, what do you mean? Like, just fix the back, just line me up or taper it out or whatever. And he'd be like, well, you cut everything already. You good. You should just go to barber school and get your barber license. I don't know why you take to every single time and tell me, like, what you waiting for? You just wasting time. By the time you finally get your license, you're going to be like, I should have did this a long time ago, which he was right. So, moving on to like 2012, I was at my job for like 7 years. And I remember the day I came and started that job, I got it from my brother-in-law. He was working there for 7.5 years. And I told him, like, if I'm working here as long as you and I ain't moved up, I gotta go. So that point in time came, and there was a lot of stuff going on in my life to where it was like, this is the only thing, this is the next best thing. And not even to say this is the next best thing, because I like cutting hair. I like to do it. And I like art, and I like originality. So it offered me the ability to have the freedom to be with my kids and have the time to do everything that I wanted to do. So I went and applied, and it's funny because I remember the day I came in there and ran into my guy. He's coming in there with this big old duffel bag, and I'm like, he's a Cosmo? Like, this big dude is a Cosmo? So it was like, wow. But, my mom also told me I should go and everything, and I had knew some people that had been there before in the family and stuff, and so I knew that I'd be comfortable there and I'd be able to work it out and stuff. And sure enough, it was, it worked out.
How was your experience?
Oh man, unforgettable, man. I wouldn't take nothing back. It was great, man. It was great. I had days where I was super tired after working 8 hours, and I come in there and I still have the time of my life, man. For real. Like, we come in and the first hour or two we'd be at theory, reading, and not really doing nothing, just looking at everybody, seeing who everybody is, and just fooling around because it's school again. I never thought I'd go back to school, college or anything, but you're never too old to learn anything. So you know what I'm saying, that's something that everybody gotta understand.
It was phenomenal when you look back at it. When you look back at it and you just think about it, because for one, you're kind of nervous. Because like myself, I never thought about playing nobody's hair, cutting nobody's hair, doing nobody's hair, especially women's hair. So I was all the way nervous, didn't know what to expect. But then when I get there, I'm starting to see people, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then I rub shoulders with like two of the greatest dudes in the world. One is my guy to the left, Jay Cutter, but the other is the man who's behind the camera, Mr. Chad Classic.
So appreciate you, brother. Salute.
Right. Ran into a beautiful lady, beautiful entrepreneur throughout my experience as a Cosmo. Shalia. Listen, I mean, I'm still learning so much from that lady, as even to this day. But just being inside school, I kind of just watched her from the outside looking in. Like I wanted to be her with her business mind and also her skills. Cause she can braid, she can do twists, she can do anything when it comes down to the hair. You know what I mean? But her business mind was something that was just tremendous. Well, I wasn't ready for the world just yet. Well, you know what? Okay, I lied. I think I was ready for the world when I got my name. I'm gonna have to give another shout out. We're gonna give a shout out to Candy. Or we call her Candace. But anyway. Candy Tabor. Because she's the one that gave me my name. And I think after that, that's what gave me that,
Got your confidence up?
I'm official because she's official. Yes. She's the truth.
Yes.
And so I was like, I got my stamp, you know what I mean?
Stamp of approval.
So I got my barber stamp. What do you think about this cut? Cool. What do you think about this color from my Cosmo side? Beautiful. Then I got, combine the two. Now I got my name, hands-on, because I'm hands-on with the cuts. I'm hands-on with the Cosmo side. It just blended in perfectly. And then after that, I was like, man, I'm ready for the world. So right after school, that was what, 2012? So about 2012, 2013 to about 2016, I was at Franchise Brothers.
So about a good three-year run?
About a good 3-year run.
How was that? Were you busy? Did you have to get out there and build up your clientele? Was there a lot of walk-in traffic?
It's, you got to get it how you live. You got to get it how you live. You got to go out there and use your personalities, use your verbal skills. You got to bring in clientele. It's just a great place to work because it taught me that it's a dog-eat-dog world. Even when being around established barbers who've been in there for years, who've been cutting since they was yay high in the garage and cutting their friends, you'll think that they would already have a million clientele. But sometimes you realize that, that's not the case. So a walk-in comes in, you think it's for you, whoever gets them first. That's why it's very important, to establish a clientele. But so that's what I had to do. Not really rely on the walk-ins, but just go out there and shake some some flesh and pass out cards. I found out about Instagram. open up an Instagram account, and start going from there. Yeah.
At first, coming out of school, I didn't just go straight into a shop because I didn't get my license right away. I failed the test. Well, it was kind of messed up. My luck. I go there and I was missing my social security card, which you need that to take your state test. And so I get there, and right when it was time to test, they're like, okay, if you don't have that, you got to go get it. I didn't have enough time, so I missed that. After paying for it, I go back again to take it. I failed that time, and then the third time, I take it and I pass. So within that time, I went to Jazzy Cuts, which a family member of mine referred me to, and I got there, and I was there for about a month and a half, 2 months, and in that short period of time, I got to see what it was like to be in a real barbershop and the ups and downs and the clashing of the barbers, and it was a co-ed shop at cosmetologists and barbers too, just like in barber school. But this was real life. This wasn't just barber school. You didn't have to be here. So there were people coming in when they wanted to. There were people that were dedicated, and there were people that were just like, this is my life, but this is how I live too at the same time. So I got to experience, what I wanted to do with it and what I didn't want to do. And there were some people in there that inspired me even more, just by seeing his hustle and, yeah.
So Jazzy Cuts for a
Jazzy
couple of
Cuts,
months?
yeah, for a month and a half, 2 months, and that was, in between that time I didn't have my license yet, so they told me, since you don't have your license, we're just gonna let you hurry up and take care of that, and then you can come back. But in between that time, it was too far out for my clientele, so I was like, once I got my license, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to the hood where I'm, where I'm good at, So let me get over here, Tacoma's Finest Clippers. Shout out to the shop.
Shout out to the east side of Tacoma.
Yeah, the east side of Tacoma, man.
6'4".
That's where I made it work. So you know what I mean. Like, even though BJ's is on the south end of Tacoma, and the east side's over here, Tacoma's not so big. There's some people that won't go because it's the east side. There's some people that, you got to pull up to their house to help them out or whatever. But that's all it goes into being a barber. If you're really dedicated, you'll go out your way to support your support. You know what I mean? So once I got there, I was stuck. Got my clientele good, and we've been good ever since.
Mm-hmm.
It helped out as far as it just made it look more professional. It made it look more like I'm serious about my craft. Like, because before I'm out there, I'm just saying, hey, I can cut hair.
Mm-hmm.
Try me out.
Yes, sir.
But where's your pictures? I don't have any pictures. Okay. Well, are you on Facebook? What is Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Do you have a Snapchat account? A Snappy what? What are you talking about? Just get out of it, walk on. But now, even though my Instagram following isn't the best, it still did its purpose. Hands on her cuts and styles. You know what I mean? They looked at that and was like, okay, cool. So you have a business, like you are your business. Okay, cool. Now you got your Instagram, Hands on Her Cuts. All right, I'm starting to see your pictures. Cool. I like the layout. I like the story that you're telling with and how you're dropping it. Excellent. I'll give you a try. And they come in, and once they come in and sit in your chair, I just had to try to keep them there. When you're shaking hands with somebody who's right here. That internet, they're everywhere. You know what I mean? If your name is out there, somebody likes it, this person likes it. So they're seeing your pictures in California, all over the world, they're seeing your pictures. So I just like that aspect of it too.
You got to network, man, because if you don't, you're going to sink. It don't matter how fast or slow, it's going to happen.
Consistency. Someone who's there, punctual, on time, great hygiene, You definitely got to care about
Very
you.
important.
Because you don't want your barber or your stylist talking to you. I had to check myself earlier. You don't want to over there like, so hey, how you doing, girl? How you doing, my guy? And you over here fighting. You trying to get your hair cut, but you fighting him because you trying to dodge the funk. You're like, So the hygiene is important. The funny thing is, I said all those things without saying skill. Because the skill's gonna come. But I think if you do that, the first three first, that would make a great barber or a good barber.
I'm just gonna say there's 5 things that'll keep a successful barber successful.
6.
6? 6 professional? Okay. Well, I'm gonna just go
On the right side.
You gotta be dependable. You gotta be on time. Dependability. Dependability, hygiene. You gotta be organized. You gotta network. You gotta stay networking. And you gotta be a social person. If you ain't social, you ain't gonna get too far. You might have the same clientele for your whole life and just, that's it. But you gotta be social. And me, I really wasn't too social until I became a barber. If I can say that. Like we talk to who we talk to, our friends and stuff like that. But as far as people you don't know, yeah, I wasn't too social until I became a barber. Now it's just like, hey, man, where you get your haircut at? Like, do you like your haircut? Have you ever tried anything different? Now I could just randomly go on any conversation, and just start a conversation with anybody. It's pretty much, it's not hard at all. And then, being around my guy Chad Classic, I learned a few things and how to speak and how to just have that verbal connection with anybody, So you gotta stay well-rounded. You gotta be well-rounded as a person to be a successful barber. You gotta be well-rounded. And it don't matter how you dress. It does matter, but it doesn't matter because you can be a sporty type of person. You could be, I don't want to say uppity, but you can be like a fancier, more clean cut, like just fashionable gentleman type of barber. Or you can just be like a modern barber who just wears, sweater vests and stuff like that every time. Just the same old black slacks and, button up, There's all types of barbers.
I see myself just, bigger than ever. If that makes any sense. Like I want to put the whole hands on just everything I do. So hands on her, whatever I'm doing. If it's hands on her music, or hands on her fitness, or hands on her just photography, who knows? Just the hands on her.
And these are all things that you're into? Music, photography,
absolutely.
Fitness.
It's barbering up here, then everything else is following. Everything else is gonna come from that. I couldn't be able to, to me, I feel like I wouldn't even thought about doing music or anything else if it wasn't for barbering. Just taking that leap of the leap of faith and getting it out there and trying to do barbering and cutting hair and being a stylist and a Cosmo. I didn't know I could even do it, so that's why I did it and I started getting comfortable with it. Now I feel like I could do anything. To be honest, I feel I could see myself, me and my partner and I, open up several shops. We're gonna start with just the one and then go from there.
I see myself traveling a lot more. And when I say traveling, I don't mean just going places. I mean doing what we do best. You know what I mean? Okay, we in Vegas cutting up. We stopping at this person's shop, but it's all about me when I'm there. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm blowing up your shop. Yeah, I'm referencing your shop, but we here right now. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere I go, we just gonna be doing big stuff. You know what I'm saying? Internet blowing up, owning the shop, YouTube page, all that. Everything is just at the maximum capacity in 5 years from now. Everything. And it's big business, man. It's big business. This right here is groundbreaking right here. And mark my word.
Clippers and conversation.
Music, photography, videography, just entrepreneurship at all the way around. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny how so many barbers have those things in common. Barbering, photography, music, video production,
art.
Yeah,
art. All the way around.
Mm-hmm.
All real things.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard that before.
What was that?
He says art. A-R-T, right?
Absolutely.
All real things. So I was like, hey, he kind of just slid that in there.
Mm-hmm.
He slid that in there.
Originality, man.
That was pretty dope. I want,
You know, sometimes we just wake up with an idea and he's like, oh, that would be cool. And then you never think about it again. But it's like those type of ideas that you wake up to and you think about that you don't go and do nothing about, those are the ones you need to step on and just, I got you. Let's go. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, and that's what we've been doing ever since barber school. Ever since barber school, we've been making this stuff happen, man. And I believe that
that's real too.
we got a good 10, 15 more years to go before we can actually plateau. Because there's so much to do. And it's going to take some time. JCutter253 on Instagram. Facebook, I don't really mess with Facebook too much, but if you are a friend of a friend, you can have them message me, or you can find me and message me. I have the Messenger app on there. I'm on the Cut app, so you could probably book appointment through there once I set it back up. I'm just got back on the ground. Or jcutterlee at icloud.com, email. My Gmail, I ain't putting that out there, it's personal. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook, or the iCloud. Or the Cut app.
The Cut app? Perfect.
Jay Cutter.
How can people reach out to you?
Shoot, just real simple. You can definitely find me on Instagram, Hands on Herb Cuts. Let me say it slow. Hands on Herb Cuts. Hands on Herb is one word. Cut spelled with 2 T's is separate. You can hit me up on my Gmail. Hands on Herb, the number 7 at gmail.com. We can link up that way. Facebook Messenger. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Oh, and Snapchat. I like that little Snapchat.
Oh yeah, Snapchat, yeah. Jay Cutter. You type in Jay Cutter. As soon as you get to the second T, I'm gonna pop up. It's just,
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
SEO, search engine optimization.
Hey, you can go type in hands on and it's gonna pop up.
Beautiful.
But the whole thing is hands on.
Google.
Google me.
There it is.
There you go.
Right on time.
Yeah.
Hey man.